Okay, I'm going to call this story Heart to Heart. This is a story of a woman I met at a wedding. So I was at a friend's wedding and I went into the ladies' room at the church. And I came out of the bathroom stall, and another woman came out of the bathroom stall, and we looked at each other. And I said, "Oh, aren't you pretty? What's your name?" And she said, "Paisha." "What's yours?" I said, "Rebecca." I said, "Oh, how do you know our friend Lynn?" And she said, "Oh, well, I work with Lynn. She's in pulmonary rehab and I'm in cardiac rehab." I go, "You're in cardiac rehab?" I said, "I'm a cardiac rehab nurse." She goes, "Well, I'm a cardiac rehab nurse." So we immediately had this bond. So we chit chatted a little bit, and I forget what I said, something like, "This is my church. And, I'm in the women's ministry here." And I was trying to just kind of throw out little bait to see if she was open to anything spiritual. So I didn't say much, maybe 5 minutes we talked. And then I went out, and the wedding was beautiful. And afterwards, we went down to the luncheon afterwards at the beach. So it was lovely, right on the water. It was a lovely sunny day. And I'm sitting there in my chair with my husband. And she comes, Paisha, right back to me, and she kneels down, squats down next to my chair. And she said, "I would really love it to get together with you sometime. You seem really spiritual, and I'd like to talk to you more." I said, "Oh, I would love that." I said, "Let's do that." And so we exchanged information, and we were agreed to meet in Solana Beach for breakfast at a place called Mr. T's. I like to say Mr. T stands for truth, because this was a woman who was searching for truth. And so we sat down for breakfast, and she looked beautiful. She had on all her cute, to this day, I remember what she was wearing. She had on, I think, a multicolored warm up suit, kind of a silky top. And we just, right away hit it off. We were just laughing and joking. She had the same humor as me. It's that nursing humor that you laugh at things that aren't supposed to be funny. It's a way to cope. And so we had a lot in common. Well, as she started telling me about her life, I found another area that we had a lot in common, and that was how over her life and in her past, she had many disappointments with men. And I could relate to that. We were very similar in that we were looking for love in all the wrong places and faces. And so, after listening to her story and after listening to a lot of her sadness and heartbreak, and I could see the emotions coming up in her face and everything else, I began to share my testimony. And that's for another time. But I began to say, "This is who I am, and this is my story." And so, right away, her heart and mine were connecting. And after probably a 2 hour breakfast, I shared the gospel message with her. And I tried to explain it the best I could, telling her how much God loved her and has always seen her and gifted her with beauty and intelligence and wit and all the things that I love about her, that they were God given gifts, and that He wanted to use all those things, even the sadness of her past. I could see her totally relating to other women and sharing her life, and then sharing God's love. And so this is what I told her. And I said, "I would love for you to know Jesus like I know Jesus. Is that something that you would like?" And she said, "Yes." She's all emotional, and I was too. So I said, "Let's go out to my car and let's pray." And she said, "Yeah, let's do that." So we got up, we went out to my car, and I first prayed for her. And then I said, "I'm going to say a simple prayer and you can repeat it." And she did. And from that time on, that was, oh my gosh, maybe 15, 20 years ago. we have remained fast friends and continued um, mentoring, going to church together. I took her to a retreat. She was in my Bible study when I taught on the covenants. She was in my Hebrew class. She just grew like crazy. Well, after we became good friends and met for breakfast over and over, I actually began to work with her at Sharp Hospital in the cardiac rehab. And I think we worked together for maybe 4 or 5 years there, and enjoyed more humor and more fun working together with the patients in the cardiac rehab. Lots of laughs, lots of love together, and lots of trials as well. But I'm going to let her tell you that. And that doesn't mean you're perfect, right? None of us are perfect. What do they say? It took God just, one day to get the people out of Egypt, but then it takes a lifetime to get Egypt out of us. And boy, could I relate to that. So even though I was older in the Lord than her, we still enjoy that beautiful friendship. And she moved away, which was so sad. We used to meet at least once a month for breakfast and just share our humor and our lives as we both struggled through many conflicts, marriage, men, jobs, you name it. But I am going to bring her in at the end of this, and I'm going to let her tell the story from her perspective. And we'll enjoy that time together. And add on to this story now is the day that she prayed to receive Christ. It was May 1st. And I joked with her later and I said, it's like you were on this cruise ship. Your life was like fun and games on this big party ship. And on May 1st, you had your real Mayday call. And so God was rescuing her